Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Ouran High School Host Club. And I really like this anime. I thought I saw it on Netflix. I'm like, alright, let me see this, give it a shot, and I'm really glad I did. It's a really funny series, and just really run with its premise, and just really knows how to use its characters in effective situations to just really make good jokes. So, the premise of the series is there's this Ouran Academy that's for like the super rich and super wealthy, and we follow the main character of Haruhi, who is this girl who's been accepted on a scholarship. She's not super rich or anything. She's dubbed a commoner by most of the people at this school, and in the beginning we just see her trying to find a quiet room to study. And she goes into what she assumes is this unused music room and meets the host club, which is just made up of all these like pretty guys who are just like just entertain young ladies, pretty much, just giving them all these kind of fantasies and all that. Led by Tamaki, who's the kind of like princely kind of type dude, airhead kind of guy who has all these kind of crazy ideas. And the real guy who's like running it is Kiyoya, and he's the one that has to do all the finances and everything and make sure that they don't get screwed over. And there's the Honey character, who is the kind of like cute little boy who's actually like a third year like student there, and Mori, his like bodyguard, who's also a third year student, and rounding him out are the twins Hikaru and Karu. And at first they're kind of confused why like he's there, because she's dressed and kind of looks more like a he than a she, and she's kind of like, and she accidentally breaks this like really expensive vase, and of course they have to have her work off that debt. So they have her dressing up as a boy in the host club, and they just really use that premise to effect and just really use the high school setting really well for like really crazy jokes, and they do it in a pretty good way, kind of like almost a case of the week kind of thing. Like they'll follow certain characters, and of course Tamaki's a really kind of kind guy and wants to help out a lot of people. And of course some person has this kind of problem, and they do a scenario to try and help them with that, and usually sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, or it doesn't work out in the way that they thought it would. And it always wraps up in a pretty good way, and usually with a pretty good joke. And I don't really want to get into the specifics of certain jokes, because telling them just kind of like loses the impact of them. And I was like laughing out loud at a lot of jokes on this. I'd have to pause it because of just like the hilarious, weird situation that was in. And it was really kind of funny when like I'd start it back up, and then one character was having a similar reaction to what I was having to the situation. It was just like, yes, they know how to do the timing and to get the jokes. And it's not just the premise that they do very well, because a strong premise and a great execution of it, like here, works pretty well. They also do really good character development, and they really develop like the whole intricacies of all the friendships in the host club, while also getting into like Haruhi and a little bit into the like character of the week who they're like trying to help or whatnot. Now, granted, they don't get as fleshed out as the main characters, but a big thing for me in like an anime and any kind of TV show or book is to have solid character development, and not just like the plot demanding that a character acts in a certain way, but like characters acting in a certain way that actually drive the plot in certain ways, or in this case, drive certain jokes or certain situations to like weird and out of bounds territories. And it's also pretty cool because they do fourth wall breaks and also make fun of anime and like the stereotypes of like this kind of harem kind of thing, because of like all the pretty guys. Usually it would be on another one, it would be like all these pretty girls or whatnot, and all the kind of situations and scenarios that go on with that. They just really have fun with the concept, really have fun with the characters, and then just let the jokes come as they may, and it just works out really well. And if you're into kind of like the high school kind of anime, kind of slice of life, and just like really crazy kind of humor, now granted, not complete insane kind of humor, but if you're into like making fun of anime and kind of like One Punch Man and Gurren Lagann kind of style stuff, because even though those anime came out after this one, I still put it in the same vein because it makes fun of like the high school anime, the harem anime, all the kind of moe stuff, in the same way that like Gurren Lagann makes fun of the mechas and One Punch Man makes fun of the superhero stuff, and they just does it so well that I really could recommend this to anybody who likes those kinds of anime that make fun of anime and do it in a really smart and funny kind of way, that are into kind of like the high school kind of stuff and the crazy situations that happen with that, and really good just like development of characters. If you're really, I recommended this to anybody who's like watching anime or just even kind of wants to get into anime. So I really was glad that I watched this series, and will probably be getting it on like Blu-ray at some point when I see it at a pretty good price. So those are my opinion on the anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.